We created TheShot.org because we want to provide a resource for Air Jordan connoisseurs with background information on the shoes Michael Jordan wore throughout his career. We cover the design process and inspiration for the shoes, as well as the historical moments Michael created wearing the shoes. We want to challenge people on how they think about Air Jordans. I believe that if you really understand the design and you can appreciate what Michael accomplished wearing the shoes, you will look at your shoes in a completely different light. Think about design as a broad term. Design is so much more than the way something looks. It's the whole thing. It's the way something works on so many different levels. Good design is about bringing order to complexity and making the different pieces feel like one. A good example of that is the Air Jordan 12. The shoe has many details and different materials that somehow magically combine like one. The design of a shoe and the influence it has on a person is all relative. It could be just a basketball shoe, but it can also be so much more. There are so many amazing details and nuances hidden in the design that can be observed and understood. That concept actually applies to many different things. Someone might walk into the Louvre and just see painted canvases, but for someone else, those canvases open up a different world. The Air Jordan 7 resembles the perfect painting. You have the white and gray upper, which is kept very simple, but then Tinker added the colorful tongue and the outsole to the shoe. It's like a painter slapping different colors on a white canvas. It's just beautiful. I really appreciate the pureness of an idea that is communicated through the design of the shoe, the silhouette, the materials. Considering those features, Air Jordans are masterpieces. Nike's designers came up with completely new approaches to shoe design just for the Air Jordans. Look at the Air Jordan 2, for example. A sports shoe with luxury materials like lizard skin that is produced in Italy. That was unheard of at the time. It shook the world and it changed the way people look at shoes. It is difficult to create a product with a unique and futuristic design. There is a certain confidence to it. Most people are not ready for what is being created. So as a designer, trusting your instincts is very important. It's all about anticipating what people will like in the future. The most iconic designer of our time, Tinker Hatfield, designed and created most of the shoes of the Air Jordan line. Tinker has a huge influence on the shoe game and even our culture. Influence without saying a word, without speaking. The design does the speaking. Probably the most popular shoe Tinker ever designed is the Air Jordan 3, the first mid-cut basketball shoe ever created. It is also the first Air Jordan with a visible air window. I just love the simple silhouette with accents of luxurious elephant print that is used on the toe cap and the heel. The Air Jordan 3 was the first Air Jordan designed by Tinker Hatfield. With the design of this shoe, Tinker changed the landscape of shoe design and performance forever. Tinker has a background in architecture that is just perfect. He was designing houses before, and houses are actually very similar to shoes. And it's really important how they look and feel, but they also have to be usable on a daily basis. Therefore, the performance aspect has to be in it too. Then there's a second component, the collaboration between the designer and the athlete. The vision for this shoe comes from the designer, and on top of that, different elements are inspired by the athlete. That gives the shoe a sense of authenticity. It feels like the design of the shoe is a conversation between Tinker and Michael. It's magnificent to know that all those different factors are combined to create this one shoe. Air Jordans were always driving innovation, with new technologies and new materials that set the standards for all shoes afterwards. Tinker said that when you combine unlikely things together, you create something new. Look at the Air Jordan 11, with the translucent outsole and the carbon fiber plate underneath, and the signature patent leather around the whole shoe. That was unseen before, and it changed the game completely. And this didn't happen only with the Air Jordan 11. Almost every Air Jordan shoe that was released was a game changer. A true Air Jordan collector enjoys and appreciates his shoes just as much as a regular art collector enjoys paintings of Picasso. I genuinely believe that, because Air Jordans are pieces of art. Another aspect paintings and vintage Air Jordan have in common is that they both lose their original state with time. Every old piece of art has to be restored on a regular basis. For example, the Mona Lisa is being restored every few years, mostly to be cleaned and reconditioned. A 30-year-old shoe will not look exactly the same as the moment when it was released. The paint would chip, the midsole would start to yellow, and sometimes even crumble. There are certain techniques that can help restore the original look of the shoe. Maybe not 100%, but fairly close. As said earlier, another pillar we focus on with TheShot.org is the historical context that is given by Michael Jordan, the best player to ever play the game. He created history wearing these shoes. Air Jordans are beautiful masterpieces considering the design alone. But what makes each shoe special is its history. Take a look at the Air Jordan 1, for example. The shoes Michael wore when he became a superstar in the NBA. Every time I'm holding that shoe in my hands, I'm reliving that particular moment. A lot of people believe that the Air Jordan 1 Bred is the shoe that was banned by the NBA. That is actually not true. It was the black version of the Air Ship, Michael's first real shoe as a professional basketball player. After the league informed him that he was not allowed to wear the black version, he continued wearing the white and gray version and also the white and red colorway. This shoe has so much history behind it that's just incredible. Remember when Michael dunked from the free throw line in '88 while wearing the Air Jordan 3? He went back to the other side of the court and started running with big steps. He took off from the free throw line and flew through the air in a way that nobody has ever seen before. Owning that shoe and being aware of the history behind it gives it a meaning and a purpose. Or think about that moment when Michael hit the game winner in Game 6 of the NBA Finals in '98, hitting his last shot while wearing the Air Jordan 14. Every time I look at that shoe, I have to think about Byron Russell staring at Michael while he gets up and hits that legendary jump shot. Those are shoes that changed the game forever, and every true collector should know about these moments that made these shoes special. Not many art pieces have such a strong history as Air Jordans. Usually, it's all about the vision of the artist and the design process that goes into the art piece. In the case of Air Jordans, not only design and vision come together, but also the world's greatest athlete creating history in those shoes. Michael wearing these shoes gives meaning and context to those masterpieces and brings them to life. Appreciating the art of Air Jordans has nothing to do with owning many pairs. The quality of a collection mostly depends on the knowledge and appreciation for the shoe. Quality over quantity really applies to the concept of sneaker collecting. The collections of the most famous collectors rarely have hundreds of pairs. They usually spend years hunting for a pair that they may have wanted for a long time. And in the end, it's all about the meaning the shoe has for you. Do you appreciate the multifaceted design and the inspiration the designer had for the shoes? Are you collecting for historic reasons? Maybe you saw Michael play and you wanted to be like him, dunk like him, and score like him. And you really appreciate some of the biggest historical moments that ever happened in sports, like Michael's flu game in '97 or his last shot in '98. You are deciding what meaning the shoe has for you.